Hello and good evening, welcome. We've got the gentleman just walking in. Is it Brian? So we have Brian, Martin and Steve in the room. And we've got some people on Zoom as well. So I see Barbara, Iliana, Ninja. Is that your real name? Wow. Frank, Tiffy, Deborah, Madeline, Jackie, and some I can't see their faces. So Kyle, Samantha, Sarah, Karen, Lynn, Will, and Finn is joining. Great. Good. So this is the last, not the last one. The next, there is no Buddhist Society session next week because of the bank holiday. And then Ajahn Sundara will do the. Two. There are two ones. There are two are missing. Okay. So the next one will be the 17th of April. Yeah. And Ajahn Sundara will do that one. Yeah. Good. So is there anyone new to the class? You've been before, isn't it? Yeah. You look like you did. Right. So I'll so I don't need to tell you what's going to happen. I'm not sure myself. So we'll light the candles and do the dedication of offerings and the 3 refuges and 5 precepts. Yoso bhagava arahan samma sambuddho, to the Blessed One, the Lord, who fully attained perfect enlightenment. Swakato yena bhagavata dhammo, to the teaching which he expounded so well. Supatipanno yassa bhagavato savaka sangho, and to the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. Amayam bhagavantam sadhammam sasangham, to these the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Imehi sakarehi yataraham aropitehi adipujayama. We render with offerings our rightful homage. Sadhuno bhante bhagava suchira parini bhutopi. It is well for us that the Blessed One, having attained liberation, Hachima Janatanukampamanasa, still had compassion for later generations. Imme sakare dugatapanna karabhute patikanhatu. May these simple offerings be accepted. Amhakam vigarata hitaya sukhaya for our long-lasting benefit and for the happiness it gives us. Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava, the Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one. Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivandimi, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the teaching so completely explained by him. Dhammang Namassami, I bow to the Dhamma. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. Sangham Namami, I bow to the Sangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Anatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature. Adinana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given. Amesu Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from sexual misconduct. Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from lying. Sura Mere Majjapama Atana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness. Imani pancha sikkhapadani silena sugating yanti, silena bhoga sampada, silena niputing yanti, tasma silang visodhayi. These are the 5 precepts. Virtue is the source of happiness. Virtue is the source of true wealth. Virtue is the source of peacefulness. Therefore, let virtue be purified. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. we settle into our seated posture. Dropping even the words that we just chanted. Opening up to the vibrations that are felt in this moment. This is the result of the previous countless moments. And how we are, how we receive, how we respond to this moment will condition the next. So we can see how the power is in this moment. So then we need to really know what's happening in this moment. Because we can't fully know the previous moment. For now, it's an unreliable memory. We know that we can't possibly know the next moment. We've lived long enough, we've been disappointed so many times to understand that there are countless possibilities. So all we have is this moment. The only thing we can truly trust is this moment. The only place we can live is this moment. The only place we can be is this moment. But why does it feel that the past is so precious? And the future might be better. What's wrong with this moment? Shall we stop and take a look? See what we find. The past we create. The future we create. But do we need to create the present moment? It's just here. We don't need to create it. We can be in it because it's here. We can feel it because it's here. We can receive it because it's here. We can understand it because it's here. So we sit and receive all the vibrations of the present moment. Remember, we don't need to create it. We don't need to imagine, figure it out. It's already just here. Listen and feel in silence. Maybe just for once in this life, let's listen to this present moment. If memory is unreliable, and the future is a fabrication, then what could be amiss in this moment? For what are we comparing it to? Is there anything to compare it to? Can we see that this moment is just like this? So did you discover the present moment? Where was the present moment? Who was there in the present moment? And what happened in the present moment? Did you find these answers? Only if we ask the question. Where is this present moment? On planet Earth, in England, London, Buddhist Society, the Yellow Shrine Room, the net, the cushion, this body. Where is that? Where are those things? What are they? The Earth, England, London, Buddhist Society, the Yellow Shrine Room, just a memory, your thoughts. This body, the shape, the appearance, is a memory. So where is this present moment? Can you find the point in space where it exists? And who is in this present moment? Is there anyone here? And what happens in the present moment? If words are from memory and a story requires 2 moments, what happens in just this 1 moment? Is there a story to say? Did you find the character or a place? And so we find the truth just here, in this moment. Where all the stories end. And no place else to be. Nothing to become. And in this present moment, there's contentment. There's resting in ease. There's freedom from becoming. Just understand this present moment. And that's all it takes. So each moment of time, we try and receive. And when we do this, what happens is we slowly lose trust in the stories that the mind creates. Because the stories we recognize are memories. The stories we recognize are based on a person. And the stories we recognize takes us away from the present moment. And I've often found these stories, they come up when there is discontent. When the heart is content, there are less stories. When I feel pain, hurt, disappointment, the dukkha that the Buddha described, then there are stories that are created out of this suffering. I feel like, why did they do that? And then I create a victim and a villain. The other person is the villain and I'm the victim. Or it could be that I am the villain or the other person is the victim. And I create these stories. I suppose it could also happen when we have happiness. We could feel, I'm feeling so happy, and then we associate that with a person or a place. And then slowly we become attached to that person and that place because we create these stories and we believed in it. And in both ways, we will suffer as those stories are unreliable. And with the painful feeling, I find it's more obvious when I created the stories that the suffering is more obvious, it perpetuates. With the happy feelings, I go into a dreamland, imagining, oh, how it would be in that place again with those people, or how amazing having that food or enjoying. But after a while, when you practice, you'll slowly begin to notice how that is also not very pleasant. It clouds the mind and it leads to craving. And that feeling of craving isn't very pleasant. And then that craving leads to words and actions that aren't very pleasant at all. And then things don't work out the way we want. And then we suffer. And then we want more of it. And we try something else. So all these things have happened through these stories that I created from the feelings that I've had, which have ended up in suffering. So this is the cycle of dependent origination from dukkha. The Buddha says there's this, we create these sankharas. Sankharas are these stories we create, which manifest through the consciousness in the mind and body. And then through the body we have the sense organs. And through the sense organs we have contact. And through contact we have feeling. And through feeling we perceive that feeling, whether I like it or I don't like it. And either way I will cling to it or push it away, and then I will suffer, and then from that suffering I will then create more stories. And I've seen how these stories then take me to things, craving things I like, and then sobbing and getting disappointed and blaming the world for the things that I don't like. And the whole mess of the suffering that I create from these stories. And then you find when the mind, heart is content, like when we've done meditation on the present moment, or just watching the breath, it's content. There are no stories. There's no complaining. There's no wanting anything more. So our desires and our cravings have diminished. So the Buddha says that there's a root cause of suffering is our craving, wanting something more. So being content with the present moment, understanding the present moment, we can see the discontent comes from our stories, from our memory, from our past, from the projection to the future. Stories that we create about everything, even to the point of where we are on the planet Earth, like we were saying, England, the Buddhist Society, this body, all these stories we create. But if we deeply go in our meditation and we realize, oh, what's all that as well? That's also a story. And we break away from all of that. And even this character of who I am, when we go in and question who, can we find anybody? And we stop all these stories and just be. And then we can see for ourselves how we've created all that suffering. Because when all that is dropped and the moment is accepted for how it is, not comparing it to anything else, because there is nothing to compare. All that was a story. And then the truth is that there is just this. And so we are content and we're peaceful. So we keep doing this. And we shouldn't be disheartened. The few moments we've done this, that conditions our next moment, so we'll be more open to being this way. It's like collecting water drop by drop. So don't be disheartened if there's been a drought for a while. Okay, I think we did the meditation for a bit longer, so I'll stop there, and then if anyone had anything to share, that would be nice to hear. Or any questions. Oh, Frank, yes. Do you need permission to unmute? Or can you unmute now?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Hi. I tried to, that was a very pleasant meditation, but I couldn't actually try to find the present moment. I couldn't actually find it. You know, it just didn't seem, just either it wasn't, you know, just perhaps an analogy. You know, the way when you see the light coming from a star, it might be a billion light years, a million light years away, or 100,000 light years away. But you're not, you know, I'm not seeing that actual light as it was at the beginning. I'm seeing it, the history. You know, it's a historical event that I'm witnessing. And like that, the present moment, you know, information that's coming in through the senses is actually happened before I actually before I'm aware of it, if you know what I mean. Even though it's a millisecond, but it did happen in the past. So, like, let's say I'm conscious of the sensation of my breath
mm,
in my body.
mm,
Sensation happened. It's a memory, just like the light from a distant star
mm,
is something that happened in the past. So, kind of got stuck there. I couldn't. I'm not experiencing the the reality. I'm
mm,
just making up a kind of a story about it.
mm. Yes, another story.
Sort of, yeah. Like,
Yes.
that's a nice breath. That was a nice breath. That our door, I could hear a door shutting,
Mm,
or a car horn. But the sound of that car horn happened a millisecond before. I didn't actually witness or creation of that sound.
I
I,
think,
I interpreted.
yeah, your thought came after.
Yeah,
So the sound, when you felt it, was in the present moment, and the thought was the other moment. So, so when you experienced the sound, it was in the present moment. So it's almost like going underneath, you know, underneath and feeling things. Um,
okay, can I ask you, just clarify there?
mm,
Let's say you hear the sound of a thunder,
mm,
and then first of all, you see the flash of lightning.
mm,
6, 7 seconds later, you hear the sounds of the thunder.
mm,
Is the sound of the thunder, is my awareness of the sounds of the thunder the reality, or is it the thunder
mm,
was the noise created 6 seconds ago?
mm,
Which is the present moment?
mm. So the present moment is each moment. There is nothing else but the present moment. So when you say I missed the present moment, is your definition of the present moment perhaps is one where you made sense of the present moment with your mind through thought. So you heard the car beeping, you heard the sound, but 2 milliseconds later, you put two and two together with your memory coming in to say, oh, that noise is from a car. And then we think that's the present moment, but that's the present moment of the thought that's
Yeah,
created something from memory. And that's also that's that moment. So, and that's a creation of what we've learned. And that's so in the practice, what we're doing is we're deconstructing all that to go into just receiving things, because all that we create from the mind is limiting. Because I mean, you could go forever. What is a car? What is a horn? But what is true is that the sound that you can't put a word to. As soon as you put a word to that sound to say, oh, that sound was loud. I mean, that depends on your hearing. For someone else, that would have
yeah.
been soft. So it was just in that moment, or maybe a vibration.
Hmm.
So we're going into that level of vibration, and even a vibration. So and it comes and goes. So that moment of something arising and ceasing, that's a present moment. And so the Buddha has said that if you go down to that level, you will notice all that is true in everything is arising and ceasing. That's the only truth. Everything else is a creation. And once we tune into that, we can see how that we created that the suffering from
Hmm.
ourselves. And then when we can truly feel that when we're in our meditation and we go in, and we can, because it's easier to let go of our stories because we closed our eyes. We can't see ourselves. We can't see the outer world we've created. And we can be fully present with just sensations coming and going, and then just seeing, being present that way. I don't know if anyone else had to say anything to that, or Frank, yourself.
No, that's sort of, I get the idea that I'm creating stories. That kind of, yeah, okay. No, it's you've clarified something for me, and yeah, the sensation itself, the sound or the light, is the moment I'm aware of it. That's the more present moment.
Yeah.
But then before I say, well, that's the sound of thunder, or that's the sound of a car horn. That's the story.
Yeah. And so it's almost like moving through life in silence. You can start receiving things. And then you can tap into that wisdom that is beyond the limited, conditioned understanding of a horn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Next stage. Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
Good question.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is when we when we be awake that way and just to receive, fear comes in. Because we want to create something out of what we're doing. We want to make things happen. We want to understand. And also it seems very lonely or so silent. And so what could possibly happen here? What could, the mind can trick us into creating more stories. And then so what we have to do is keep letting go. The analogy I use is almost like you jump in. Empty-handed is a better phrase than naked. Into a dark hole, a tunnel, and you just keep falling, and see what happens. Because it's a dark tunnel because we don't know. Everything we know is something that we created with our thoughts. And so now we are trying to figure out the present moment without our creation. So it's a dark tunnel, we don't know. So it can be it can be fearful. And we don't know where we're going to land. So that's where we need faith. And I was also reflecting to think of even waking up in the morning, we just get up from bed. Present moment. Most of the time we're rushing to brush our teeth, to go to get breakfast, or go to the meditation seat, do my morning puja. All those little moments, we can be present to understand. Frank, you've got your hand up again, is it?
Apologies for asking the second question, but I couldn't help the phrase. I don't know if you ever watched Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Ever watched Toy Story? It's a movie.
Yeah.
But there's a character in it called Buzz Lightyear, and talking about letting go and fall in the process. One of his phrases was "infinity and beyond."
Infinity and beyond. Infinity.
That came. I just thought came to my mind when you were talking there about trusting the process and going beyond, stories, or going to the place before the stories, so
sometimes I imagine like myself standing at the edge of the universe, and then everything else that goes, you kind of like, you have this thing where people say you throw salt over your shoulder. They throw salt, and it's almost like the moment's gone. Okay, so everything's behind, and I'm at the edge of the universe.
Yeah.
And that's the infinity you're saying, isn't it?
Infinity and beyond. Yeah. It's a good movie, actually.
Toy Story. Do I need more stories?
Yeah, no, I suppose.
I'm joking.
Okay, thank you.
I was wondering whether to say anyone else want to share something? No? Shall we do the verses of the created and the uncreated? 49. 49. So this is sort of what we've been talking about our stories. So we'll chant this. Handamayang nibbana sutta patam banamase ati pikave ajatang abhutang akatang asankatang. There is an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated and unformed. No chetam bhikave abhavissa ajatang abhutang akatang asankatang. If there was not this unborn, this unoriginated, this uncreated, this unformed, nayitang jatasya bhutasya katasya sankatasya nissaranang panyayeta. Freedom from the world of the born, the originated, the created, the formed would not be possible. Yasmajako bhikave ati ajatang abhutang akatang asankatang. But since there is an unborn, unoriginated, uncreated and unformed, asmajatasya bhutasya katasya sankatasya nissarana panyati. Therefore is freedom possible from the world of the born, the originated, the created and the formed. So if anyone wants to look at it, it's in the chanting book on the Amaravati monastery website. If you look for chanting book 1. And so we will finish with the closing homage. Araham Samma Sambuddho Bhagava, the Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivademi. I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo, the teaching so completely explained by him. Dhammam Namasami, I bow to the Dhamma. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, the Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well. Sangham Namami, I bow to the Sangha. Thank you, everybody. We created good conditions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.